Hello, Cambly learners. It's me, Cambly tutor Yuri. And today, we'll be going over a few more phrasal verbs. Yes, we've done phrasal verbs before, but there are so many, we've got some more to cover today. Today, we explore emotion phrasal verbs. So, let's do a quick recap of phrasal verbs. What are they? These are verbs that are made up of two or more words, with the first word being a verb and the second word usually being a preposition or an adverb. Our first phrasal verb example, to give you an idea of what we mean: cheer up. Do you think you might know what this phrasal verb means? If you said it means it is used to try to make someone happier, well, then you'd be correct, because cheer up means to make someone feel happier and more positive. For example, my friends brought me flowers to cheer me up after I had a bad day. Now, here you may notice, as I described in the definition, a phrasal verb is usually a verb followed by a preposition or an adverb, and in this case, cheer is the verb and up is the preposition. Cheer up. Here are two more example sentences using the phrasal verb cheer up. The surprise party was meant to cheer up the birthday girl. Here again you can see we use cheer up to describe the action of making the birthday girl feel happier or more positive through the surprise party. Now the next sentence example: the funny movie cheered us up and made us laugh. And here you may notice that we included a pronoun in the middle to refer to the person or the people we're trying to help feel happier. So here's another example. I really want to make sure you understand this phrasal verb. I bought her favorite chocolate to cheer her up after a long day. You can certainly use phrasal verbs in this way as well, where you put the pronoun in the middle. Now let's move on to the next emotional phrasal verb: calm down. Well, this one means to become less angry or less worried. For example, take a deep breath to calm down before you give your speech. And here are another two sentence examples using the phrasal verb calm down. Take a few deep breaths to calm down before you respond to your friend. Listening to relaxing music helps me to calm down when I'm stressed. Moving on, emotion phrasal verb number 3 is freak out. And this is an interesting one. What this phrasal verb, freak out, means is to become very scared or very upset. For example, I freaked out when I saw a spider in my bedroom. So we use this phrasal verb to describe when someone gets startled or overworried or very scared about something. And here are another two phrasal verb sentence examples where you can use this phrase, freak out. I freaked out when I realized I had lost my wallet. She freaks out whenever she sees a bee flying around. Our next emotional phrasal verb is bring up. And bring up means to mention or to talk about something important, to introduce a topic into a conversation. For example, Jane, my friend, brought up the issue of climate change during the meeting. So we use the phrasal verb bring up when we want to talk about something important that we need to speak about. So let's use this phrasal verb in two more sentences as examples to help you understand. He brought up an interesting point during the discussion. I told my friend I wanted to bring up the argument we had last night so we could talk about it. All right, let's finish off with one more emotion phrasal verb. Our final phrase is break down. And this phrasal verb, break down, can mean both to stop working, like a car breaking down, and it can mean to have an emotional experience, like an emotional collapse, when emotionally you just can't handle it anymore. For example, she broke down in tears when she received the bad news. Let's try two more sentence examples to make sure you really understand this phrase, break down. My friend broke down when he found out his father was in an accident. After the argument, she broke down and shared her real feelings. Now you might notice that with many of these phrasal verbs, we change the verb sometimes to the past tense. And remember, that is something you can do, because in many of my sentences I've just used, I didn't say breakdown, I said broke down, because broke is the past tense of break. So don't forget, you can use it in this way as well. And there we have it, emotion phrasal verbs that we've covered today to make sure you guys can effectively and correctly use these phrasal verbs when you're having conversations with all of your friends and speaking in English. For those who are unfamiliar with Cambly, Cambly gives you instant access to friendly, native English speakers like me. And you can take English lessons anytime, anywhere, right from your phone or your computer. So, schedule your next lesson with me or any of our amazing tutors using the link down below. And that's it from me. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've learned something, and I hope that you use it in your English every day. Until next time, goodbye.